Christian, Michael, welcome to the show. Christian, how we doing tonight?
Doing well. How about you?
Not too bad. How about you, Michael?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for having us.
Oh, no doubt. Well, Christian, I got to start with you, man. We always start with some icebreakers, and man, I was looking through your photos, and I saw photos with you and Scotty DeBrule. And I live just down the road from Starkville. Go to the Mississippi State games, watched them all the way through Omaha. Was even there last year. One of the most professional hitters I've ever seen. What was it like playing with Scotty, and how happy were you to see him win a national championship?
Scotty DeBrule. Um, Let me tell you something about Scotty. Scotty is probably the most sane person I've ever met. Like on the field, off the field, like overall in general. Great friend. Like I could literally call him right now if I wanted to, and he'll answer me. Scotty on the field, he had I don't know how to describe it. Like it's really hard to describe the type of player he was, but to me, he was he was like old school in a way where he was so simple with
Mhm.
everything he did.
Yeah,
Like
because if you bring up like Mississippi State, like when you look at averages and you look at the hitters that they had last year, people always talked about Rowdy Jordan and Tanner Allen, but DeBrule actually had the average and was the guy who got on base. But because he wasn't flashy like the other two, he kind of went under the radar to what you're talking about.
right, he is so simple, and that's where I think growing up with him here in Jacksonville, he just grew to be that type of player. Like he wasn't flashy, he made routine look routine, and there were times where flashy plays, if you remember, there was a backhand play he had up the middle, he made that look routine as well. And as a hitter, he's just so simple. He just throws his hands to the ball. Like he it's ridiculous to say how much contact he made within the time that I played with him. He rarely ever struck out. Everything was in play. There's no mistakes from him as a hitter or as a fielder really.
Yeah, that's what's up, and I had to start there because man, I like scrolling through the pictures, and I was going through your journey, and I seen that, and it was one of those things that I didn't even think about because watching him at State, I knew that he came from JU, but I didn't even think about the fact that y'all would have played together. Going through yours, Michael, going through your IG, man, what I seen was you dressed in your Steelers gear, and my question for you is, man, how does it know that you're going to get owned for the next decade by Joey B, aka Joey Cool, aka Joey Shiesty? I could go all day. Like,
Yeah,
how we
yeah,
feeling knowing that the Bengals are fixing to run your
yeah.
division for
That
10
that's gonna be
years?
a tough one to swallow. Just growing up, we'd always just beat their doors in. It was an automatic dub. And now, I mess with Joe though. Joe's nice. I mean, he's good. So at least it's not like some Joe Schmo or some dude who is not really good, like Joe Flacco or someone like that. Like at least it's Joe.
That man took a shot at Joe Flacco. I heard that.
Wow, the Italian stallion, Mike. We're not rocking with him. That's
Nah,
insane to me.
he's
You
a
know what?
clown.
You know what, Mike? I hope Trubisky is as good as to you as he was to me, and I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, come
But
on.
Christian, for
Give me
you,
a step above that.
maybe a little step above. I think Matt
All right.
Nagy not being there is going to be a good switch. But we'll see 4 games
It's
in.
a
But
good thing this is a baseball episode because nobody wants to talk about your Bears, Mike.
oh, dude, even when we're talking about football, no one wants to talk about my Bears. Like that's just how it is. But Christian, I do want to talk to you, for the listeners who may not be familiar with you or people who have been watching you for a long time but may not know the true you, to talk about your beginnings and just where you're from, and kind of the dynamic of your family life, siblings, whatever you have going on. Like, can you talk about your childhood?
Yeah. So I'm from Miami. I'm born and raised from Miami, Florida. Um, with my family, we're a small family. There's a couple of us still in Cuba since I'm Cuban descent. Um, it's it was a good time growing up down there in Miami. I mean, it's all brand new. Like there's always nice little places to play. Like there's a lot of talent growing up, and really it was just I don't even know how to explain. I feel like it's so different from hearing everybody else's story growing up, because I'll hear people's stories growing up and I'm like, wow, Like I didn't experience that at all. Like like there's stuff in Miami that like you can't like really explain how like you went through it, but you did. But with my family, I have an older brother. He's right now in California. He's in an independent league. I grew up with him. I played with him my whole life. Like he would play a year above, so I'll be playing 2 years above practically. Like in travel ball, like that, like 8 and under stage, like throughout like practically to like I got to high school. But it was a blessing playing with him because like it was always fun. Like we would always compete for the Triple Crown, believe it or not, like in every single like season we had or whatever. Like like those little seasons. But we both grew up in an academy. It's called International Baseball, and like that's where we really learned like the fundamentals of the game. And then we grew into travel ball because my dad wanted us to experience like higher competition. And once we got into high school, like that was about it. Like we still traveled everywhere we needed to go, but we didn't really like jump into summer ball teams. We stayed
Right.
loyal to our programs.
Right. So I'm hearing there's a lot of competition between the two. So for you, whether it be mom or dad or the brother, between all of you guys, who is the best athlete in your unbiased opinion?
Me? There's no
100%.
That's the only answer.
no question. No. I could call my brother up right now. He'll tell me the same thing. Like it's not even close. I love him, but
If you want to call him up, you can. You by all means call him up. But
Look, Mike, it's admirable any athlete that comes on here and says they're sibling, but bro, it would never be any answer but me if it's me being asked questions. Even if I don't believe it, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, 100%. But Christian, for you, obviously, me being from Chicago, we're in the house for 8 months out of the year. Being in Miami, was baseball your only sport, or were you playing football year round, basketball outside? What were you up to?
so my dad, he's quite a man. Michael knows about it. um, he made us play all the sports. Like he didn't force us into the game. Specifically with me, like he put me in football only, not my brother, because at the time he was too big to play in his age group. So growing up playing football, it was super fun. Like I really wanted to be a dual sport athlete, but my dad told me I had to pick one because he didn't want me to see me go down so early. Like my body like deteriorate practically because
Right.
like it's a lot. Like I started playing football when I was like 6 or 7. And he told me, he's like, hey, you got to pick one. Because, like, there's, like, a lot of money behind it, too, and all that stuff. And I was
Yeah,
like,
for
I'll just
sure.
play baseball. Because, like, my family, like, I'm, like, the 3rd or 4th generation playing baseball in my family. So, like, I'm, like, I have to keep playing. Like, it's not for me. Like, it's for my family.
For sure. And there's a lot of studs coming out of Miami at a young age, especially for you. Being a Cubs fan, can't relate. But for you, your favorite athlete growing up, if you could pick one, it doesn't have to just be baseball. Who would you have to say, whether it's in Miami or not?
That's tough. 'Cause I have one for, like, each.
Let's hear him.
Yeah, you can go down the whole list.
So, baseball, believe it or not, it was Jacoby Ellsbury growing up. When he was in my favorite team's the Red Sox. So when he joined as a rookie, like I just fell in love with him.
Right.
Like in that 2007, 2008 era. Basketball, Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade, there's no question about it.
That's it. That's an easy one right there.
Yes, sir. Tell him.
And believe it or not, my favorite football player growing up to watch was Ricky Williams.
Mm-hmm. I could respect that.
Yeah,
I could respect that.
Him and Michael Vick were like right here for me.
Right. And Christian, really quick, Jim, not to go off the rails. Christian, James Harden or Dwayne Wade, is it even close?
Absolutely not.
Thank you, sir.
Why are you asking me? Like I said, I hate James Harden.
Oh no! Just for the record, Jim Cross did not.
That's Russell Westbrook and John Morant behind me. You don't see James Harden behind me.
Yes, sir. No, I didn't mean to go off topic, Jim, but I was on a network show this morning and I was ready to flip a table over it. It's not even a conversation. It's Dwayne Wade all day.
That's like in my eyes, that's like asking me like LeBron or like Green. Like it's the same thing.
And look, here's the thing, Mike. At the end of the day, Dwayne Wade got Gabrielle Union, so he's the winner. Period.
100%, 100%. But Christian, I'm gonna throw some stats at you real quick and just talk about the flexing. Played 2 years at Florida Christian School, hit 506 with 6 homers, 26 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases your senior year. Crowned 4A district champions in 2016 and made first team All-State and Miami-Dade County. Participated in 2016 FACA weekend, 2016 4A 8 Player of the Year. Lot of awards, man. We're talking 2016 Private Team All-Star. If I can ask you to pick your favorite moment from playing in high school baseball, whether that be just in the clubhouse, outside of school, whatever it may be, what would you have to say it is?
That's tough. That's tough. Let me think. There's probably 2 that will never be unmatched. One is they're both against the school called Westminster Christian. They're like a really, really, really bad rival. Like we both hate each other. Like we always go like neck and neck. My senior year, we beat them in Florida Christian, our house, like just a regular season game. We beat them like 4-1 or 4-3 or something. But like it was like we had like a blackout that whole night. Like our stadium, like the capacity of our home stadium in Florida Christian, I think was around like 700, and we had like I think 12 or 1,300 people there. Like they had to open up the football stands for us, and beating them there that night on a Friday night, like it was cool. And then that same year, we beat them in their house for our district championship, like 7-3. Like we blew them up, and not to like toot my own horn, but I robbed the home run. I robbed the 3-run home run that like basically like saved the game.
Hey, this isn't off the bench, baby. You could toot it.
You know what? He says rob a home run, and then I'm realizing, you know what his new look actually looks like? He looked like Dylan Cruz kind of. Actually, I see what you're doing, Christian. Speaking of robbing home runs, I got you. Okay.
I'm trying to fluctuate. I mean, I was telling Michael, like my primary growing up was outfield. Like I just, I grew into first, but that's about it.
I think he's putting Matt Carpenter to shame, if you ask me. I definitely do think Christian, someone who played ball not even as close as well as you did. Getting scouts looked at, or even having scouts coming to a game, is an anomaly in the Midwest. But in Florida and in southern states, it's very common. So for you, how early did you start getting approached by colleges, and what were those conversations like?
Let me think. Like colleges, my brother committed to FIU his junior year, so I started to get recognition from FIU my sophomore year. They offered me like right on spot, and like I wasn't gonna like throw myself over there like as a sophomore. So I went to showcases here and there, and I didn't really have much like conversations with schools, I guess you could say. Like I had a lot of like emails like inviting me to camps and all that stuff. And growing up in Miami, I wanted to play in Miami, like it was either playing in UM or FIU. Like I didn't care which school it was. So when the opportunity presented itself again, I just ran with it. My junior year, I committed my junior year summer, but I didn't have a lot of like communication with schools growing up, really. Like I really didn't, to be honest with you. Like I had a couple here and there, but like they weren't like big schools. Like the only big schools that offered me was Virginia Tech at the time, and it wasn't much, and I just didn't think it would be worth to go out of state as an 18-year-old kid, like just grew up in Miami, to go into Virginia,
Right.
And if you would have picked Virginia Tech, you'd be in your senior year in a super regional right now, Christian. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, I know, but
I think in hindsight, it's a different conversation. But Christian, to kind of tie into that though, you think that is the main reason that Palm Beach State was the destination for you, just because you didn't want to leave out of state, or was there any other reasons that tied you into there?
Palm Beach State, I mean, I grew apart from FIU early in my career. Things weren't really working out there personally for me. So long story short, I got recruited by the old staff. And 2 weeks right before going into campus, I walked into the new staff. And I was just there. I'm like, okay, like, I mean, it's too late to like turn back now. So it's just time to like, time to show and go. So freshman year went by, and sophomore fall, like I just came to a conclusion that the FIU was not the best fit for me. Like I knew I could bring more to the table. So in Palm Beach State, I had a friend of mine. His name is George Isa. He went to Farley Dickinson, then he went down to Palm Beach, and then he went to University of New Orleans. And he was my best friend growing up. Like, he was my third baseman in high school, and he told me like, "Yo, we need a first baseman." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." I go to work out there. The coach talked to me. He liked me. We went through the negotiation process, and within like 2 days, like I knew I wanted to play there because it's a great place. It's a great program, great coaches, great people, all that stuff. And I looked at myself in the mirror. Like, I was like 185 maybe because I was an outfielder in FIU. I looked at myself in the mirror one day. I'm like, if I'm gonna be playing first in JUCO, like I gotta eat. So I put on, no joke, when I stepped on the scale for the first game, which was like 4 months or 6 months after I committed to Palm Beach State, I gained within like 40 to 45 pounds. But that Palm Beach State was a blessing to me in my career, honestly. Like, it opened up so many doors, and like I'm here now.
For sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And we'll get into Palm Beach State in a minute. Before you get too carried away, Christian, man, we got to bring Michael into the mix. We got to head from South Beach to the Midwest.
Yeah,
Mike,
that's enough for me. Like, go to him.
No, we'll be back, but we got to get Michael in the mix here, man. I won't put my man to sleep. So Michael, where are you from?
Was born in West Virginia, moved to Kentucky when I was like 6, grew up in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah, and so for you, man, I was doing some research. You got a bigger family there. Talk to me, man. Siblings, mom, dad, and everything.
Right. So I got an older brother. We're about the same height, but he's definitely a larger figure than me. He's actually got muscle to him, unlike me. But my mom, she lives in Bowling Green too. My brother and my mom live there, and my dad. And then my cousin lives in Bowling Green as well. But the rest of my family is in West Virginia. So mom, she's about 5'10", or claims she was. I think she's shrinking a little bit. She played basketball at Western Carolina and Marshall. And then my dad, he played sports in high school. He played basketball and baseball in high school, but he's a lawyer, former college president.
So my question for you is, because I've seen that you played basketball growing up, man. Was your mom taking you to school in the driveway? What's up?
All right, so we used to play one-on-one all the time. Like, we would get to talking smack, and she'd pull out the scrapbook. She'd be like, "Don't make me pull out the scrapbook." She'd pull out the scrapbook. She's got all these clippings where she's like dropping double, triple doubles here and there. Like, she's a beast. But there was one day in the driveway, I was about, I think, 10 or 11, and I had backed her down, and we were like on the right block, and I like tried to hit her with a move, and she broke one way, and I went back. She like read it right, but I hit her right in the nose with like my elbow or something. Got her good. She said some cuss words and went inside, and I think that was the last day we played.
You hit your mom, Mike? Come on.
Yeah, not on
man.
purpose. Not on purpose.
Well, I guess at least you
That's
didn't.
where champions are made, Jim. That's where champions.
Hey, at least he didn't like dunk on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, then we would have just been down right there.
No, yeah, she had the clamps. She was putting the clamps on me, and I just,
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't on purpose, but yeah.
So
that was
just
the last day we played.
So just like Christian was asked about best athlete in the family, you gonna take that crown, or you gonna pass it on?
Yeah, they can like make a huge crown for me, and I'll go ahead and sit there. They can make a throne.
I heard that.
We actually, it's funny you say that. We argue about that because my mom, when I lived in Bowling Green, my mom would cook dinner every Sunday, and me and my brother and his wife would go over there, and we'd all eat dinner and stuff. And we would probably twice a month would get in that argument of who's the best athlete, and it would just be me and my brother, and then mom would start chirping and going, "What about me? I think I'm the best." I'm like, no, mom, you're too old.
Valid.
You know what? I believe in mom. I think mom lace him up and take you right now, Mike. That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
she was nice. She was nice, no doubt.
All right. So for you, who was your favorite athlete growing up, no matter what sport it was? Who did you look up to?
At a young age, it was probably just Michael Jordan. I mean, can't go wrong there. And then as the older I got and the more I was like watching sports and stuff, it probably Kobe Bryant, I'd say. Baseball wise, my favorite was Ken Griffey Jr. because I'm a
Man,
Reds fan.
he's got all the right answers, Mike.
Yeah.
All the best of the
100%,
best.
But I didn't get to really see Griffey in his prime, but Griffey at the back end with the Reds while he was still kind of good. I know I really enjoyed watching him play for the Reds, and yeah, I'd say King Griffey Jr. My dog's actually named after him. His name's Griffey. So
That's
and then
awesome.
Kobe.
Yeah, no, you can't go wrong. I got to grow up on Griffey in his prime, and him and Frank Thomas were my two favorite baseball players. So I'm all about that.
No doubt. He's just got the swagger, and he's just.
And then like you said, you said Kobe and Mike. We ain't got to talk about it. That's that. So, for you, where did you go to high school at?
I went to South Warren High School. It was a newer school when it was just recently built.
I got you.
Through.
And I see you earned all-state second team, all-region, and all-district honors while you were there. 4-year letter winner on the diamond, as well as the 2 years with basketball. And that's why I knew you could hoop. I wanted to ask you this. You talked about moms. A lot of baseball players come on here and really claim, because a lot of them had some basketball experience. If I was to put you against Mike Hughes right there, right now, not your mom, Mike Hughes, you don't know nothing about him right now. You taking him to the rack? I'm taking him
to the rack, or I'm just pulling up from about 40 feet. Not that deep. Probably about 30
I'll let him
feet.
shoot it. I'll let him shoot
30
it.
feet. I spray. I'm a shooter.
There it is. There it is, Mike. You're toast. Don't even try it.
We'll see what happens. We'll have to see what happens on the court. But, I think he'll give me a run for his money, 100%, 100%.
He ain't going to beat me because I'm going to back him down and throw elbows. I'm going to play dirty street ball. He don't
Jim, let me tell you, bro.
That Draymond on you.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody coming near you, bro. Ain't nobody coming near you.
He said that. I hate Draymond, but I would play like Draymond. That's the irony. So, you know what?
That's respect. That's respect. Don't like playing against him. Like him on your team, though.
Exactly. So, for you on the diamond, man, what was your favorite moment in high school, man? Everybody's got that one moment that they believe in. Christian even had two of them. What was it for you?
My favorite moment was definitely we were playing. So our district is set up. So we have 5 teams in our district, and we were I think we were the 2 seed because we didn't get the 1 seed, which we were pretty upset about. It was my senior year, and we were playing the 3 seed, who we were very similar with. They actually had a kid. He's playing at Louisville right now. His name's Ryan Hawks. He's a really good pitcher. Was a really good baseball player. And then they had another kid. He was a year younger than me. He was like a 4-year starter at Baylor on their team, and they're a really good team. It was a hard 2-3 seed game. We had to win that game to make it to the regional. And I ended up throwing a 1-hitter with 8 or 9 punchies, and I had a really good game.
Nice.
That was probably my highlight.
It didn't really show when I was researching, but I know you had to have played travel ball. Everybody, to make it to your level, what travel ball team did you play for? At least the biggest one. You ain't got to give me the whole run of them.
Right. In high school, I played for a team. They're out of Evansville, Indiana. They're called the Evansville Razorbacks, which is a pretty good program. It's not nationally known. In regional, I feel like people would know that name. But Jeff Johnson, he's a coach over there. Or Jeremy Johnson. He's a coach over there, and he's ran a really good program. Had a lot of really good players come through there.
So at what point did you start getting colleges, recruiting you, and was it because of travel ball, high school ball, or both?
Yeah, it's actually really interesting, and I'll try to shorten it up a little bit. But in high school, early on, I didn't really I was on the varsity baseball team, but I didn't really play a whole lot. I didn't really play a whole lot until my senior year after I'd already committed. And so I thought I was just going to play basketball. All right. And then I went through after my junior year of baseball, that ended, and I had a really good start to the year. And then I started playing bad at the end, and I was about to hang him up, but I had already signed up to play for the summer ball team. I'd already paid. So I'm like, okay, let's just see what the summer does for me. And had a really great summer. Ended up getting a lot of there was like a 2-week period where I was getting calls every day from coaches, like JUCOs, D2s, and some D1s. And so,
So what made you? So what made you choose Western Kentucky of those choices?
right, I didn't really have that. I had maybe 3 or 4 D1 offers. And so of the caliber level offers I was getting, I felt that Western Kentucky was my best option in terms of like facilities. And I mean, it was obviously in my hometown, so that was like a plus, being close to friends and family. But I had offers like Marshall. That I didn't really like their baseball stuff. Their coach didn't was rubbed me wrong on the visit.
See,
And then
both of y'all stayed close to home. See, I joined the military and I picked San Diego, California to get as far away from Memphis, Tennessee as I could. I don't know how y'all folks stay close to home. I was trying to get away as quick as I could.
What's funny, I think I was just psychologically telling myself that as it was a plus, but I feel like I would have blossomed into like a better player early on in my college career if I would have gotten out of Bowling Green.
100%. 100%.
Definitely agreed on that one.
So Christian, back to you. Happy you chimed in. But you get to Palm Beach State. What are your emotions like? Kind of speaking to that of you're kind of still in your hometown. You're kind of still in a familiar place. Were you nervous? Were you excited? What are those emotions like? Just first day on campus.
Going JUCO, like it just fueled my fire. Really, I felt like I had a lot of people to prove wrong. There's one time I'll never forget where I was having my meeting with my coach from FIU. He told me I would never be better than a Division II ball player. So when he told me that, like it just lit up a spark, like immediately. Like I grew in a rage. I grew in a fury. Like I was crying, like not from like disappointment. I was crying from like how much emotion I had in me to like prove, like not just him, but like practically like everyone I surrounded myself wrong, because like my first high school, which was Christopher Columbus, I was told the same thing. Like I wouldn't be better than a Division II ball player. Then when I get into a Division I program, I get told the same thing. And when I decided to go JUCO, like it just grew, like it just made me furious. Like when I had that first game, there was like too much to handle, like mentally, physically, emotionally. And like when the course like wrote itself out, I ended up, doing what I had to do, but it got shortened up because I suffered a ACL meniscus tear complete, and it took me about 18 months to recover from.
It's tragic, but you do prove a lot in what you just said to a lot of ball players and a lot of people listening right now. And that's a true testament to everybody as a baller, and in your 2 years there, especially your sophomore season, you slashed 333, 382 and 561 in 30 games as a sophomore. You tied for the team lead in home runs with 5 and was tied for second in triples with 3. How would you describe your time at Palm Beach State? And for you, would you do anything different?
That place was a blessing in disguise, really. Like I loved everything about it. Like the school was great. Teammates were amazing. The only thing I would do different is not try to field the bunt and throw the third in a drive. That's the only thing.
That's
like,
that extra stuff that we like. Look, that's what's not in the scripted stuff. We don't got that stat.
Yeah, like
nightmares about that.
Like, no, I still do. Like I wonder if I didn't try to field that ball and throw it across the diamond, if what would happen.
100%. But for you, how does JU come into the mix, and what did that kind of entail?
To put it on perspective for you from JU, I'll tell you this. I committed right before my injury happened, and I called the coach up when I got the news. They just swept they just swept St. Louis, right? I get out of the hospital at like 10 o'clock at night from my MRI and my doctor, I'm crying I'm crying my eyeballs out. And I call the coach, and I just hear them like raging in the back because they had a really big series to win that weekend, and they swept. I break him the news, and Coach Hayes' first words were, "No worries, you're a part of us now. We'll get you right." When I heard that over the phone, within 2 days of just committing, I knew that place was gonna like it doesn't matter what I went through here, it doesn't matter my experiences. Like I knew this place was gonna be my home. Like I
100%.
felt it. So I came up here and I visited Ruben Samayan, my best friend growing up. He played here for 5 years because of COVID. He didn't have a single error in the outfield. My best friend growing up, best friend to this day. I came up here to visit him because I had nothing better to do my sophomore fall. And like when I got up here, because I'll FaceTime him all the time. When I got up here and I saw things for myself, like I just envisioned myself wearing that jersey. Like there was no other jersey in the country that would persuade me not to wear Dolphins across my chest.
100%.
And it's weird to hear because there's a lot of like better places to play and this and that, whatever. But like it was just like it was like a heart. Like I felt it. Like I felt it here.
You know, it's interesting to hear you say that, man, because there's something to that. You know, not to cut you, Mike, but
I agree.
you know, Josh Hatcher said the same thing. You know, he left Mississippi State, a national champion. He had a plethora of options, but he said he went back home. He went to Kennesaw State. He was playing with three of his high school teammates and his best friends, and he said it just felt like the place that he wanted to be. He couldn't see himself anywhere else. Even with the other options, he said that was the school for him. So, like, I can understand that, you know, hearing you say that, hearing him say that, like being a ball player. And when you, like you said, when you see a certain uniform and there's a certain school and you got a certain, you know, relationship with a teammate, like, and it all just kind of comes together, it just feels right.
Yeah, like I was coming in the year where they went to regional against UF and they beat UF. They beat Florida State. Like they beat all these guys. They were ranked. And I just felt like the shoes needed to be fulfilled. And like I just had that heart and desire to play here and want to continue that legacy, that little span of time where JU was like on the national totem pole.
100%. You know, you talk about the ACL meniscus tear. You know, we've heard crazy stories about how it happens. I've heard guys who literally stepped out of bed and tore it all the way to, you know, trying to slide in the home plate. So for you, can you kind of just take us through that injury as a whole and how that kind of transpired?
So it's quite interesting. So how it happened was we're playing as Miami-Dade, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing at home in front of all my friends and all my family that came to see the game. First and second situation, they bunt. I charge in immediately. Obviously, he hit it hard towards me. He bunted it hard towards me. So I planned to go throw at third because I had him. Like I would have easily had him. And my cleats dug into the ground, the grass. So I felt every single thing. Like I felt the snap, I felt a crack, I felt the pop, everything. I couldn't even like I couldn't get up. Like I felt like a balloon was like inhaling itself behind my knee. So like 2 minutes later, I get up. I didn't get taken out. I told my coach I'm not getting taken out. I finished off the inning. I go lead off the next inning. I hit a ball up the middle, and it's my left leg, so it was my backside leg. When I went to finish my swing and run out the box, I just fell straight down. So, like that's when I knew I'm like, okay, this is bad.
And you know what I caught most out of that story is it all comes back to a bunt again with you, Christian.
Yeah.
Was that the same bunt or no? Different bunt?
No, it was the same bunt.
Okay.
Christian,
I thought it was a different bunt. I thought this was the bunts were just really messing him up.
Christian, would you say, you know, I've torn my meniscus, and I've torn, you know, my labrum in my throwing arm. And I've partially torn it and then fully torn it later on, kind of like you're alluding to. For you, would you think, because I mean, first of all, you're an effing warrior if you fully tore it and finished out that inning and then to go for another at bat and to say you're good. Would you say there was a difference in that at bat to where the injury extended? Would you think maybe it was a partial tear in the beginning and then you fully tore it doing that at bat?
No, I felt like when I'm telling you, like Rice Krispies, snack, crackle, pop, like that.
It was off rip.
All the above, like right.
Off rip.
Look, and Michael can appreciate it since he said he's a Kobe guy. Kobe tearing the Achilles, going back out there and shooting.
We don't talk about that, sir. We don't talk about that, sir. Hey, Michael, I'm feeling you, but I got a fish named Kobe, bro. That's Black Mamba in my room right now. But, Christian, back to it. I love the feel-good stories, man. And this was one of those stories where you returned 17 to 18 months later from the injury in a shortened season to start 16 of 17 games played, all at first base, led the team on the ASUN conference in home runs and was second in the ASUN and RBIs before COVID hit. I don't mean to, continue the down topic, but, how deflating was that for you to get back to where you were and just start off the season raking just to have the season get shortened by COVID?
It wasn't like a deflating type of thing. It was just more of a desire to fulfill my needs personally, to prove people that I can be in this stage, like in this national stage.
Right.
Like, it was difficult because I got cleared in 7 months. Like, I pushed myself really hard. I got cleared in 7 months. I was in the 2019 season. I was competing. And then from one swing in the middle of an at bat, I felt like a snap in my patella and like a flare go on. So I developed patellar tendonitis. I got a PRP shot and it got me 4 months more in my therapy time. So that's what pushed me back even more. But going back to your question, like, it was just like my career, like, I've just really looked back at it, like, reflecting now since we just finished up. Like, there was a lot of like more proving wrong than there was to feeling sweet about myself.
Right.
If that makes any sense. Like, there was a lot of like negative talking about me. Like, there was just a lot of questions in the air, and like it was just like, I just feel like with my performances and my time, especially here in JU, is just like a little jab in the mouth. Like the questions were up in the air, but I punched you in the mouth and I showed you what I could do. Like, right. Is that simple? Like that's the beauty of sports too, because we see so many comeback stories, we see so many Cinderella stories. And then you look back and it's like, oh, but they just did that. When you look at the actual athlete and what they think about it, they're never going to forget about it. And they'll take it up to heaven with them.
Right. Now, for you, though, during the 2020 season, it was a blessing for me. From 2014 to 2018, I played with a torn labrum. So I took that 2020 season off and just fully healed my body. Obviously, you already coming back from that injury. What did you do during the pandemic and during that off time away from the team? And what was that like? We don't gotta trick anybody out. We don't gotta snitch here. But was anybody meeting up and having practices still? And what was those conversations like to stay in baseball shape, being ready for whenever you got the call that you were going back to play ball?
So, well, before the 2020 season, I was lifting 2 to 3 times a day. I was getting myself ready. Like, I was waking up at 5 a.m. and going, like, I was doing like the old school stuff, and it worked out well. When COVID hit, we all went home again, and we'll go to our teammates' house and we'll all just live together, because like at the time, like a third of the team was from Miami.
Right.
So we'll all meet up in the house. We'll all live together. We'll jump fences to like hit in public parks, because in Miami they were super bad with COVID, super bad. Like the outbreaks there were not, like, probably the worst ever. So we'll be jumping around, we'll just find our ways to do our things down there. And then when we came back up here, we just felt free, because we had our facilities here to do what we needed to do. We didn't have to jump fences to get into public parks that were getting chased after from security. We came back up here and we were doing our thing, and like it was just it was just keeping each other like composed and keeping each other like in spirits, you know, like because we knew we were gonna come back together and we knew we were gonna, you know, finish what we started.
For sure. And after that Sandlot type of off season, jumping fences, getting chased by dogs and security,
A dog chased us one time. It wasn't fun. Black German Shepherd. It wasn't fun. I promise you.
I bet Green in Chicago, bro. I promise you, all the way from Pitts to Chihuahuas, we see the craziest stuff. But in 2021, you started 42 of 45 games played. But let's get right to it. I want to talk to you about leading JU to an 8-7 upset against 17 Florida State, when you had an incredible 3-run, most in school history in that game, and 6 RBIs in that game. Take me through that and just tell me about your emotions during the game and after.
Getting on that bus, I felt like I had the flu. I'm not kidding.
Like, my man got the flu game going.
I just feel like nothing's ever going good.
That was my flu game. Like I woke up super groggy. Like at 7 in the morning, like I woke up out of nowhere. We didn't have lifts or anything because we were traveling.
Right.
I woke up like completely. I was like, wow, like I don't feel good at all. So I run a cold bath. I ran a cold bath. I sat in there for 45 minutes. Then I get to the field. Like after I ate, my body is just like, I'm just like it's aching. Like it's not even sore. Like my whole body's aching. So get on the bus. Like I started feeling nauseous, and I couldn't I couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't even sit. Like I was like standing up. I was sitting on I was like laying across like the floor on the bus. I got off the bus. We're going through our pregame routine. I wasn't even hitting like in the cages. Like I wasn't even hitting the ball. Like I was hitting the tee. Like that's how tired my body was. Like I was swinging under the ball, and the ball, like I was swinging, the ball's going this way backwards instead of me hitting it. I get to the field. Again, BP. I look at my shortstop at the time, Dakota Jalila. I look at him and I'm like, dude, I didn't want to play today. Like I can't. And he's like, dude, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Just hit ground balls. I start hitting ground balls in BP, right? Then I hit, like, I think it was like my first or like second to last swings. Like I hit one over. And he looks at me, he's like, you're going to do that today. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever you think, bro. Like whatever. And then long story short, I had that type of game, but I was numb. Like I didn't think, I couldn't feel my body. And after the game, I look at the scoreboard, and personally in my head, I'm like, yo, I just did that. Like I did that, me. Right. And like everyone there is just like jumping around because we beat FSU. And in my head, I'm like, dude, what's going on, bro? Like this, like I was like
having a J.R. Smith moment, not even knowing where you are.
Right.
Mike, but look, let me ask you a question. Look, he just provided 6 RBIs and 3 home runs, but he's that sick. You going up and hugging him afterward, or you just gonna stay tight?
Like that's a hot take. Listen, before COVID, I would say hell yeah. Like I wouldn't care. During COVID, I don't know. That's a hot take. That might be one of the hottest questions you ask all night, Jim. 100%.
Like I'm staying away. I'm gonna throw the long distance high five and say, "Good game, Christian."
Appreciate you, bro. I'll see you later.
No joke. Like I barely sweat, right? Like I'm not the type of like person that sweats. Like you even ask Michael. Like after games, I go take off like my undershirt. Like it'll still look like I just put it on. That game specifically, it looked like I wore a green undershirt. It looked like black from like how much like I drenched.
But Christian,
like, I had the shivers. I had the cold sweats. Everything going on that whole game.
Christian, for you though, your senior season started 54 games played, 50 at first base and 3 at DH, led the team in RBIs 48, home runs 13, slugging percentage was .495 raked, and tied for the lead in sacrifice flies for first Dolphin with double-digit homers since Angel Camacho in 2019. You talk a lot about proving people wrong, and obviously the standard is just to be the best version of you that you can be, but is there a chip on your shoulder when you look at this season as your defining season? And would you say you met expectations or exceeded expectations for yourself?
Well, in my mind, like I'm never gonna be happy with my performances, like no matter what I do in that given day. Because
You're that guy. You're that guy. 3
Yeah.
home runs in a game, and you're like, it could have been 4.
Yeah, because like I'm the type of guy that thinks neutrally. I'm a neutral thinker. I don't take too much of good. I don't take too much bad. And like, yeah, like it's nice that I met these I guess like milestones in my career, you could say. But like I just like I was taking a lot of outside advice from former guys that were in the program, and like, I was just running with it. I was just running with it. I was, like as you said, trying to be the best version of myself every single day. I told my guys that every single day, like my hitters group, I told them that every single day before we took on the game. Be the best version of yourself. Not for you, for everyone surrounding you. You play for them. You don't play for yourself. I told them that every single game. And like yeah, like looking back now, like it's bittersweet because it came to an end, but like I am happy with what I produced in my time, especially this year, because I felt like it was such an emotional roller coaster, being here for so long and it coming to an end, like meeting, like Michael, specifically Michael, like he's my brother. Like
He told us before the episode he didn't like you, dog.
yeah, I hate him too. It's all good.
Yeah,
So-
Levy, I forgot to tell you
I
that.
saw the whole thing.
So like that, like just this only 1 year playing with Michael and like a few other guys that came in, like it's bittersweet because like we had something nice going on and we had our challenges and our breakdowns, but like if I feel like if I had more time with this group, we could have done something way more special.
Right. And you talk about, just having a little bit more time. And a game I really wanted to pick your brain about. We just had the boys from K-State on, Tyler Simon and Josh Hatcher. You had a career high 5 hits against those boys, a team that, won the conference and just played in the regionals. Can you kind of just talk about that?
That day, that's
Yeah.
So
Dude raked.
I'm telling you, like
it was a barrel.
like I'm the type of player that like once I hate conference. I hate everybody in our conference.
That's what you're supposed to do. Anybody who says otherwise doing it's wrong.
Like I don't care who it is. Like I hate you. Like it's that simple. Like yeah, I have my boys on some teams, this and that, whatever, but like I hate you. You're not wearing what I'm wearing. Going into there at their place, like it's a little bandbox really, and it's super fun to hit it. And like I don't blame Hatcher going over there. I would have gone over there too if I had an opportunity. Like I would have probably had like 20 something. And that day specifically, everything was just falling. Like everything was just going through. Like it was just like it was a lucky day. Like it wasn't, like
Right.
Were you satisfied with 5 hits, or was there still more?
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that. Like the day
well, you weren't satisfied with 3 home runs, so I don't know about 5 hits, and I got to figure you out.
I can't even tell you the process of the at bats. Like I can't. Like I forgot about them, but
I really remember the one you hit dead center that was like 450. That was my favorite one.
100%. Now, Christian, going into, the next stage of baseball or just the next stage of life, can you kind of just give us this kind of understanding of where you're at right now, whether that be with professional ball or if you're ahead, obviously professional ball is always, the first place you want to be at. But if your head is anywhere else as well, like what you might want to do outside of baseball, either, later down the line or later in this year.
Well, I mean, I can speak for Mike on this too. Like we have our masters in our back pocket. So we won, we won. Baseball is always going to be pursued. And, I started up training up this week. I took some time off. I'm just trying to find a place to play. Like, I don't, I'm not going to be judgmental of where I have to go because I know I need to work through this to get into the minors. Like the odds of me getting a free agency, I feel aren't as high as I think it would be. So especially with my age. So I feel like independent ball is probably going to be my first look. And to just see what goes on from there. Because again, like we have our masters. If we really wanted to, we could get a salary job right now with 6 figures if we really wanted to. But like the little kid and me, I'm never gonna let this game go. I can't. I can't. Like I can't.
I absolutely love that answer, you know, and that's cool that you realize that you know what you want, but you also know that you have something in your back pocket that you can go to, and that's awesome, and you earn that, and that's what you do while you know you're playing ball, man. You're hitting the books and getting them grades and getting that degree. So, man, you know, I hope you make it in ball, but if not, like you said, man, I think you'll be successful, especially with your mindset, that chip that you carry on your shoulder. But, you know, coming back to you, Michael, man, you know, you get to Western Kentucky, you know, what were your emotions like getting to campus? You said it was close to home, kind of no different than Christian did, but, you know, were you nervous? Were you excited?
I was definitely nervous because, you know, I mean, kind of labeled as like hometown hero type player. Everyone like preseason, like freshman year, like the media is asking the coach about freshman me, like I'm that relevant on the team. At least I didn't really think I was. I mean, I ended up pitching a lot my freshman year, but I mean, just knowing so many people and stuff like that. I mean, had best friends from my high school that went to Western that were in fraternities that I could stay close with, and then making new friendships from my teammates.
Well, you couldn't have been hanging out them fraternities too much because before I got into your athletics, I wanted to get into your academics. You know, it's funny that Christian had brought up the Masters because the thing that stood out to me, man, when you see somebody who's killing it on academics and athletics, you know, bro, you made the dean's list 3 times and the president's list once at Western Kentucky. I mean, beyond impressive. What drove you to put academics at, you know, such an emphasis?
Nerd.
Well, my freshman year,
Nerd. He said nerd.
no, not even nerd. It just my freshman year, I really stubbed my toe in the classroom, especially that first semester. I mean, anyone who has gone into college, especially played sports, has learned that like time management is your biggest thing against you. You got to learn how to manage it with friends, hanging out, doing homework, practice. It's hard. So I struggled with that, and then I guess the further my college career developed, I mean, I got better at it, hanging out with friends, doing my schoolwork first, early in the week.
Did you have girls doing your work for you? Is that what I'm starting to hear? You said you struggled, and then all of a sudden you on the dean's list. What's up, man?
No, I think my parents kind of lit a fire under me, and I kind of got going.
I hear you. So getting into baseball, man, you made 53 career appearances. You know, 11 starts for the Hilltoppers, 40 appearances in the first 2 seasons, missing the 2019 season due to injury. Made 7 starts and 14 appearances after returning from injury, but you led the team with a 12.9 K to 9 ratio as a sophomore in 2018. What I noticed in here, though, you know, as I said it 3 different times in there, was injury. So, you know, kind of like Christian, man, it sounds like both y'all boys need to be wrapped in some bubble wrap because I got some injuries. Talk to me about what you had going on.
Right. So my freshman year didn't really pitch that great, but our team wasn't very good. So coach gave me a lot of opportunity to, you know, just trial and error. And I feel like it helped me develop as a freshman, you know, getting out there. And then my sophomore year, I wasn't used a lot, but I was used in more crucial moments, and I had a really good season out of the bullpen. After that season, I played summer ball that summer, tore it up, had a really good summer, was looking to be like, you know, a Friday, Saturday type guy coming back my junior year. Tore my UCL in the first playoff game in my summer league. And I mean, that was pretty tough for me because I was rated the number 2 prospect in that summer league by like Baseball America or something like that.
Michael, I'm gonna need to stop you right there. What in the hell is a UCL, my friend? I've heard it all, but I have not heard that for the
ulnar something. I don't know the C, but it's ligament. It's Tommy John.
Mike, are you serious? I'm going to question all your baseball credentials. Every pitcher that's getting Tommy John, it's their UCL that they tear, bro. What are you?
Yeah, but I always hear Tommy John. I've never heard the like.
It's the UCL. So, for instance, Mississippi State, Landon Sims, he tore his UCL, bro.
Right. Well, listen,
Right there.
man. Like,
It's fine. He's sitting 97 now, so whatever.
Nah, I wish.
exactly.
You wish. What do you mean? I taste it.
No, but the thing about it is, Michael, what you know, because you had it, and what I know, 20 years ago, Tommy John ended your career. Now with advanced medicine, not only are you recovering faster, but a lot of pitchers are coming back stronger, which just seems kind of crazy, you know. But I mean, it's crazy how medicine has changed, and so you know that would be my first question. Coming off Tommy John, how long did it take before you were back throwing on the bump?
It took me 14 months to complete the program, but there's like certain steps. So like I started throwing again after 6 months. And then let's say like at 8 or 9 months, I was like throwing live bullpens, like fastball change, like 75%. And then just you like build your way back up into it. And then with my last step was throwing a simulated game. So any scrimmage, 20 pitches. So I actually did that in our fall World Series at Western, started a game, finally got the scrimmage in. And then I ended up earning the Friday night starter role that season, the COVID season. Had four starts that season, which is all this season allowed me to have. Had decent numbers, but I was really starting to get into the role of, being a Friday guy and being that leader in the locker room and stuff like that. And just getting back from surgery and being comfortable with my body out on the mound.
I mean, it's really interesting, the similarity in y'all stories. I mean, y'all battle injuries, and then when y'all start to get in a groove when COVID comes, like it's really unique that y'all are paired together at JU the way y'all were, and y'all have these things. And I'm not even going to ask you what it was like to get that Friday night starting role and then COVID come in, because I know it sucks. I don't even.
I mean, I was devastated. It was just.
So how does coming off that, how does JU come into the picture? How do you end up there?
Right. So then the next season, I trained all summer, was like really looking forward to it. Was talking to a lot of scouts, like almost every team. So I'm like, yeah, like this is my year. Like I'm probably gonna get picked if I have a pretty good season. I'll get picked. And I ended up had like tendonitis to start my last season at Western. Was pitching like really bad. Like I had nothing. My velo was down. Couldn't locate secondary pitch. So if I was in the zone, I was getting lit up, but I was just walking dudes. So no hard feelings with the head coach there, but he just felt like after like 4 or 5 opportunities for me that was pretty much going to be it in meaningful innings. So I got some more appearances here and there, but none that really mattered, and it was just inning stints, kind of just to eat up some innings, and then. I almost quit after that season. I mean, that really did it to me. It was wearing on my mental and had me down. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna enter the portal. I gotta keep playing. Like I can't hang it up on that note. So I entered the portal.
And you said I got to get out of the Midwest and head towards the beach.
Yeah, well, that was when I was thinking about going somewhere. I was like, I gotta pitch in warm weather. Like this cold weather is destroying my arm. So one of my buddies, actually, his high school coach, knew a summer ball coach, and he got me in that league. Had a really good summer. Heard from teams, heard from like some CUSA teams and teams like that of that caliber, like really good teams. But all of them were just like, hey, we'll keep in touch. We just want to reach base for now. But I was looking to make a decision pretty early on in the summer because I didn't want to have to worry about that. So, and Brad Wilkerson, the recruiting coordinator at JU, he flew up to Virginia where I was playing summer ball at, and he actually had a meeting with me before one of my games I was starting, and he offered me a scholarship, and I hadn't even visited JU yet before I committed. I just had talked to all the coaches. It was a really good offer. I was moving to Florida. Like, why not? Everyone from Kentucky. Everyone wants to play Florida baseball.
Well, plus you heard about this guy Christian that was there, and you're like, right, man, yeah. I want to play with that dude.
It's funny. We were texting before I even knew anyone. But yeah. And then I ended up moving, and I'm glad I trusted the coaches, and it was a good decision for me, and it was a good fit.
That's what's up. So looking at it, man, started 14 of the 15 games you appeared on the mound in the season for the Dolphins. Second on the team with 72 innings pitched. Had 82 strikeouts, tied for 6th in the A-Sun Conference in Ks. before we get into individual games, but the same kind of question we asked Christian, especially coming off injuries, transferring schools, did you meet your expectations coming into the season for yourself individually?
I mean, I'm kind of like Christian in that aspect of it, what his answer was, because, I'm really never satisfied. I mean, my parents, you can ask my parents or my girlfriend or anyone in my family, they'll be like, that was a great game. And I'm like, well, if I just wouldn't have got behind in that one count in the fourth inning, blah, blah, like, I can always work on something. It was a good season for me. Like, I had a good season, but I had an even better fall, which, I mean, fall ball means nothing. You have fall Americans every year that don't pan out in the spring. But I mean, I was unreal in the fall, and I wanted to carry that over. And it took me like till halfway through the season to like reach what I was doing in the fall. But I mean, I finished the season on a solid note, and I started off strong. I just stubbed my toe a little bit in the middle.
Well, following that theme of stubbing your toe and hoping to finish strong, Mike, I just messaged the other host of the show and told them that you didn't know what a UCL was, and you're not welcome back after this episode, bro.
Listen, it's one of those things, bro.
Mike.
Listen, I have spent my entire career in the outfield. It's none of my business what goes on with y'all pitching boys. I don't care. Hey,
but you work for the Cubs, bro. Like,
and I feel you on that. And I feel it on that. But here's the thing. And Christian, bro, you've been quiet a minute. I need you to tag me in here. Feel like we built a bond. It's not my fault when they get all scientific on me. When you say Tommy John, I know what you're talking about. When you say UCLA, I don't know what you're talking about right now. You committed to UCLA now. I don't know what's going on. But for all the listeners out there.
Yeah, I can't even tell you what ACL stands for. Like,
exactly.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what that.
I didn't need you to know what it stood for, but how you didn't know that was the link to the Tommy John.
Listen, but all I hear is, oh, you got TJ. Oh, you got Tommy John. Like, Chicago is just very. Listen. I'm gonna leave it at this, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna disrespect my city, but the educational system in my city does not give us the pleasure of saying the words UCL. We just call it TJ. That's it.
I hear you.
Hey,
for all my science nerds out there.
Hey, I kept it nerdy. I said I tore my UCL. I should have said I had Tommy John surgery. It's on me.
Honestly, I think it's Michael's fault at the end of the day.
Yeah, dude. Who told you to sound so smart, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, he did make the D's list 3 times, guys, and you called him a nerd for it too.
Be better, Michael. Be better. Come on now, kid.
Yeah. I got you.
Well, speaking of being better, I don't know what y'all got about the playing Florida State, but I want to go to that game. You struck out 8, including the first 6 batters you faced in your first career start with JU, and it was against Florida State. Only allowing 2 hits and 1 run in the upset of the ranked Seminoles. So like Christian, I mean, I don't know what it is, but what was going through your head, and I mean, what were the emotions like having a game like that against a top ranked team like that?
I mean, I was beyond nervous to start the game. Like I'm that guy that I still like. No matter who I'm playing, it could be an inter squad. I'm nervous, so I was really nervous. I had missed a couple of inter squads in preseason because my arm was bothering me a little tendonitis. So I didn't start in the weekend at the beginning of the season. So I got my first midweek start. It's Florida State. I was glad we were at home. So I go out there, like I'm feeling decent, but I'm just like, I mean, my adrenaline's just going. And then, I mean, obviously I punch out the side. The third guy I struck out in the first inning was Alex Terrell from Miami, who it's just nukes. And I threw him like a 3-2 backdoor cutter on accident. I don't even throw a cutter. It was gas, and it was like Corbin Burns' backdoor cutter, like filth. So, and then I go back out for the next inning, and I mean, obviously I was pretty pumped walk off the mound. Everyone's like, it's packed. Everyone went crazy, and then go back out for the next inning, and I mean, even more, an unbelievable thing happened. And I struck out the side again on an immaculate inning. 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts.
You throw more pitches that you didn't know that you could throw?
No, I didn't.
Are you sure you don't have a backdoor cutter? Because if you threw it, you got it.
No, I don't have it. It's just I throw a cutter every once in a while. I cut my 4-seam every once in a while, which isn't good. I gave up a home run on it this year, but sometimes it benefits me. So the second inning, when the next 3 batters, it was 3 pitches to all of them, immaculate inning. And I mean, I was going even more nuts coming off the mountain then, and everyone's like, "Oh, let's go, let's go." I mean, at that point, I'm like out of my body. I'm like, this is my first start here. Like, I'm the new kid. I was just like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the team, kid. We love you.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you assumed the Saturday starter role, at the start of ASUN play, won 4 consecutive starts and 5 of your last 6 in the regular season. How did you find that groove, including recording a career best 10 strikeouts in the final starter versus Eastern Kentucky? We were just talking about the backdoor cutter. What was working for you on the mound? What in the pitching arsenal? What was your go-to? Talk to me through the success you were having through that stretch of games.
Right. So, I mean, my go-to pitch is my slider. I mean, it's a pretty good pitch, and I can really throw it in any count, which is what really helps me. I mean, I could even throw it 3-0 if I feel like a guy. I mean, I rarely do that, but if I feel like a guy sit on that, I'll throw it. A 3-1, I'll throw it. It helps me a lot. 2-0, just being in behind the count, being able to throw that breaking ball. I mean, my fastball command got a lot better too. That really helped me being able to put it on the inside and out, especially inside. The A-Sun hitters, they're all looking fastball away, breaking stuff away. So they're all leaning out over the plate. If you can jam them in, that's how I had a lot of success. And I'll throw a two-seam fastball too, and I like to leave it arm side, which will run into the righties, get a little jam, fish job, or just late swings. But my changeup really came along. I didn't really have a changeup at all. I mean, I would throw it here and there, but I mean, it was a swing. It started to be a swing and miss pitch for me in those games, so that really helped me, especially for left-handed hitters.
So actually, let me ask you that. As you break down the pitches, which I love the in-depth breakdown of your pitches and how you approach the hitters. A lot of guys are having to develop a changeup. Is it something that's just not taught as much, coming up anymore?
It's just, I mean, it's such a field pitch. It's so hard. You want to throw it as hard as you can, but you want it. It's just I really I can't even explain it. It's
Well,
just
I
got
brought
my
you know
mind
I brought up
spinning.
Landon Sims, and they had an amazing stat on him last year as a closer. All those innings he pitched, I don't know if you saw it. He only threw 3 changeups the entire time, and
Yeah,
so
I
that
mean,
was something he had to work on coming into the season was just to throw a changeup. And he was not the first guy I heard that about, and it was interesting. Because for a guy like me who didn't pitch, I don't understand any of that, and I don't know if changeup is something they teach along the way or how it comes into play.
right. So the way I got that to be a pitch for me, like at least just a third pitch, whatever, was I would just in my bullpens, I would throw it all the time. I would practice as much live like type scenarios in my head, throw a dummy hitter in the box. I was playing catch with it. I mean, I was even like crow hopping some and throwing long toss with it just to get a feel for it coming out of my hand to have that breaking sinking action. But I mean, my coaches, my pitching coaches, they're really good at helping me with my changeup. Just tweaking the grip here and there a little bit. I mean, it's just little stuff like that. Is how. But it
Yeah,
is a tough pitch to throw, especially for some right-handed pitchers.
yeah, no doubt. But I mean, you saying you have that slider in the arsenal and being able to locate the fastball, it tells me that Christian talked about y'all have y'all's masters in the back pocket, but obviously you're going to pursue baseball as a pitcher. Having the full arsenal of pitches like you clearly have, and the good breaking stuff, because everybody wants to talk about how hard somebody can throw and talk about the velo, but that isn't what's going to get you to the next level. You got to have the other stuff. You got to have the off speed, and then on the fastball, like you sat there and talking about your location. You got to be able to paint that inside corner, and so with that, I assume that you're going to continue to pursue baseball to the next level.
For sure, yeah, that's the plan right now. Yes, sir. I mean, I don't know if draft is anything for me. I think it could be. There's a possibility, but I think free agent for sure is in my
Well,
cards.
we actually, obviously getting drafted is something you want and you get excited. But we've had multiple guys who came on here. We even had one who announced because he signed the day of with the Los Angeles Angels, Houston Harding. You never know when they're going to come calling, and so man, like if you don't get drafted, man, continue to put in the work, stay ready, both of you, because there's going to be opportunity, and you find a league to jump in, because based upon the statistics I've seen, and everything that I've heard from the guys who told us that we needed to have you on here, y'all got talent galore. So I think there's still a bright future ahead, and this ain't the end for you guys. But with that, we're gonna put all the serious stuff aside, and we're gonna play a game called This or That. Y'all down to play?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Come on now.
All right. So there's only 2 rules in this game. I'm gonna give you 2 options to choose from. You can't say neither, and you can't say both. Those are the only rules. That way we don't get mixed up. Christian, you're gonna answer every question first, and then Michael, you're gonna come behind them. Y'all got it?
Got it.
All right. What would you prefer to have? Would you rather be at a luxury swimming pool or at the beach?
Come on, dude.
Dude, that's so hard already, bro. Like,
Man, this is actually, there's a reason why we research these questions. That's a tough question.
These are tough already. Like, bro, like growing up in Miami, like you know how many luxury swimming pools I've been around?
Look, sometimes this question opens up fun stuff. We talk about the guys from Kennesaw State. Hatcher says swimming pool so fast, and then says that he doesn't like the beach because he doesn't like water that he can't see his feet in, so he doesn't go into the ocean.
That's a valid thing though. That's pretty. I
It
couldn't
is
even
valid,
do that.
but you gotta go for views too.
Views too. Well, Mr. Miami South Beach.
I'm gonna go with beach. I grew up at the beach. So
Michael.
Beach.
Yeah, it sounded like that was easy for you. All right, would you rather be smart or would you rather be funny?
I know what Michael's about to say.
Funny. Hilarious. No question. There's no fun in being smart. Like,
I don't know. Michael might disagree.
Mr. UCL, what is your answer today, sir?
I'm definitely more of a funny guy than smart. I mean,
Oh.
I'm really not that smart. I guessed right.
I told you he had girls doing his work. It's all clear now.
100%.
Yeah, we got jokes on each other like every 20 minutes. So
yeah,
that's easy.
All right. So would y'all rather do a group hangout or do y'all like to do like one-on-one hangouts? Are you more like, like a small scene or a big scene?
I mean,
that's a good question.
That is a good question because we both got girls and they're both sisters, ironically, but
nice.
We both hang out.
Man, y'all waited way too long into the
episode. I feel like we should have said that at the beginning.
I feel like that should have just been the introduction. Like that's
we're both dating twins. Ew. I don't know. Like I'm definitely more of a group guy. Like with we got our girls or whatever. That's like a lot of one-on-one time already. But
right.
I love being in the group setting. Like,
you want big group or small group?
I don't care. Whichever.
What was the question?
So would you rather hang out in a large group of people or would you rather be in more like a one-on-one type setting?
What do we got with large? Like what are we talking about? Like 10, 15?
I would say like the crew, just like your boy.
Oh no, yeah, crew all day.
Oh, crew, yeah, I'm crew.
True.
But Michael, and this is for Christian as well, are these, not to get too personal into your business, but is this identical twins or, is there
identical?
confusion?
Yeah, they're identical.
They're
now,
identical.
when you guys are all together though, like, is there confusion sometimes?
No, never.
No.
How do you guys separate that difference though? Because I've been in that situation as well, and I've gotten confused many times on who I was talking to.
I don't know. I guess we're just around them all the time. I mean, most
like
people.
I was dating my girl first, and then like he started dating my girl's sister like later on. So
you know what that means, right? That means Michael thought your girl was hot. Let's call it what it is.
I know that.
Hey, Christian, that's not your boy, dog. That's not your boy.
All right, we gotta move on.
My brother, I'll tell you that.
We gotta move on before it gets out of hand. No, all right. Here's one for you. This is always an interesting one. Would you rather be a hero or a villain?
That's tough. Okay, let's how about you give me a hero and a villain to choose from?
That's not the game.
That's not the game, but you know what? I'll do it. I'll just, he's not as smart as you. We're going to figure this out. All right. Batman or Joker?
Ooh, Batman.
Oh, no. Yeah. I am a villain 100% of the day. Joker.
Me too. All day, every day. Mike, I know you're Joker.
No, I'm a huge Batman fan. So I
Yeah,
mean, if I like the Batman type of hero, I don't like the Superman type of hero. If that makes
No, I
sense.
could get that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Like a
don't like the
vigilante
whispering.
kind
Bro.
of or something.
Well, that's because Superman. We made enough jokes about nerds. Superman does. He's nerdy. Let's call it what it is. Like he's got all the powers, but he's not. He's not dark and mysterious like Batman.
Wears
No.
glasses.
But I'm feeling all day. Give me all of them. Mike, because I work out. I'm down with Bane. You know what I'm saying? That's the role I want. All right. So, would you rather go if you can go to any concert or any sporting event? Which would you pick? A concert or a sporting event?
A sporting event, 100%.
Yeah, I'm going sporting event as well.
I
Like
love
World Series, I'm choosing that over any
NBA
concert.
Finals, Super Bowls, FIFA World Cup, no question.
Believe it or not, guys, y'all are the first two to actually not pick concert. Hey, I love it. We mixed it up. We found somebody who wants to go sporting event. That would be me too. But a lot of athletes say they on the field all the time. But you just said exactly what I think. Like, man, you could be at the NBA Finals courtside. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
We're not talking about our own games. We're
Give
talking
me
about
5 rows behind home plate World Series. Like
Right.
what?
We got
Game 7.
innings and quarters, so we're good.
yeah, no doubt. So, all right. So, would you rather have massive success that was by accident, or would you rather have modest or decent success that was on purpose and earned?
We're talking like, scratch a lottery ticket. You know what I mean? Make,
Ooh.
or having 250 plus on Tennessee at the beginning of the season and cashing out towards the end.
Nice.
I'm gonna go.
Nice.
I'm gonna go on that first option there. I mean, if we're talking about like a lottery ticket example, like I'm full for that.
Michael.
I'm gonna go earned. I'm gonna go the other one. I want to earn it because I'm still somewhat successful, but I earned it. I can hang my hat on
Michael's just that guy, man. He's just that type of guy. I love it. I love
You
it.
want to earn a lottery ticket with like
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to win the lottery, bro. Like,
You earned the ticket though by paying.
I like that they're not answering the same. I hate when it's the other one follows the first one and we just get the same answer. So I love them mixing up. But we're gonna find out with these next two, Mike. These are our staple questions. These are the most fun questions that we ask every guest. Fellas, would you rather do 10 years in a coma or 5 years in prison?
Christian, you're my guy, man. I need you on this one. I've been arguing all year about this.
All right, so let me break it down. In a coma, you fall asleep and you wake up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
But it's 10 years.
I'm going 5 years in
10
prison.
years can feel like 10 seconds.
I'm gonna get huge, bro. I'm gonna do 800 push-ups a day.
Dude.
I'm a guy. I'm a
I'm
guy
gonna
that
get
I like
huge.
my sleep. I'm cool with it. Like,
Right.
you can eat the ramen with the mayo and the ketchup. You stir it up every day and do little push-ups and pull-ups. I'm gonna take a nice little snoop real quick.
Right. And Michael, here's where I'm coming from. I hear you're gonna come out looking like Jim, and it's gonna be an amazing thing. If you do the coma, you'll probably wake up looking like me, and you don't want that. But listen, if you wake up from the coma, like Christian said, you just go back about your life. If you go to prison for 10 years, you have to have that prison mentality or 5 years. You have that prison mentality the rest of your life, and you don't know what you saw in prison.
All that stuff. Nah, I'm good,
Bro.
I'll sleep and wake up real quick.
Here's the way I think about it. It's the age thing and it's my family thing. I go in depth with it because I'll be old, my kids will be grown up. So for y'all, I mean, think about it, man. You'll be in your mid-30s when you wake up.
Yeah.
See, but look at us. Look at us. We'll go to sleep pimps and we'll wake up pimps, and it'll be perfectly fine.
Ain't nothing like a G thing, you know.
Until our swag is no longer swag anymore.
That stash.
Yeah, we got ink on it. We got ink already, so we're good. Like
there you go.
We got ink. We're good.
All right. Well, y'all thought that was a harder question. Here's the one. I'm gonna find out everything about you right here. Would you rather be the first pick in the MLB draft, but the caveat is you have to cut loose all your friends, or be the last pick and you can keep them all? Now, let me preface this by saying that the difference between the first pick and the last pick last year was about $9 million. So, Christian, I ask you, first pick, cut your friends loose. Last pick, keep them.
This is just easy for me because, like, Michael will probably pick it too, but last pick, keep my boys around. You know, like it's not about the money. The game is not about the money. The game is about playing the game. It's a kid's game. That simple.
Michael, he answered for you? You going with that?
He got me. He got me. Yeah,
Y'all both just answered this question wrong. I'll cut Mike loose. I'll cut Daniel and Randy, the other host, loose. Look, I was just messing with you about Joe Burrow. Man, I'd rather be living the life of Joe Burrow. I'll buy me some friends. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be mad at you, dog.
I got some good boys. Yeah, keep them around.
I hear you. Well, you just doing that because you know they'll listen. If we was off air, y'all would tell the truth, man.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, but
my life are just considered family, so I can't do that.
Well, before we let you guys go, and we appreciate you coming on, we'll start with you, Christian. You know, man, where can people follow you at on Instagram so they can keep up with you? Especially, hopefully you continue your baseball journey. How can they follow you?
My Instagram handle is @ChristianCoipel. It's just my name. I don't have any hashtags or I don't have numbers or any of that. It's just my name.
And Michael?
It's @MichaelD.Hicks15.
And if you want to continue to follow JU baseball, because I'm sure that they're going to be family for life with these two guys. Check them out on Instagram. I was checking them out. It's a great college, like they talked about. But once again, guys, we thank you for coming on, telling your story, having some fun, teaching Mike what a UCL is. Talking.
Hey, Mike, you will always remember me for any Tommy John or UCL.
That's the guy. That's the guy that changed my life forever.
You guys got the same names, so you guys are rolling.
Yeah.
But once again, it's been a pleasure. You fellas have a good night.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us. It was fun.
Thank you so much for having us, man. This was awesome. I just hope to keep in touch with you guys and just keep the ball rolling.
Absolutely.